Nextdoor is a social network platform focused primarily on neighborhoods. If you live in the United States, there's a 1 in 3 chance that your household has signed up for the Nextdoor app. Nextdoor is in the process of going public via a SPAC called Khosla Ventures Acquisition Co. 2, ticker KVSB. The business combination is expected to close in the fourth quarter of 2021. And the ticker symbol is expected to change to KIND, K-I-N-D. In this video, I'm first going to give a high-level overview of Nextdoor. Second, I'm going to go over my bull case for the stock. Third, I'm going to go over my bear case. And fourth, I'm going to go over my game plan on how I plan to invest in this stock. All of this right after. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Learn to invest like a wolf at your own risk. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Wolves of Investing. My name is Donnie Nguyen and I'm the founder of Wolves of Investing. If you're new, my channel is primarily about investing in the stock market. If you want to learn how to achieve financial freedom through investing, be sure to click on that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't yet. And please remember to drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, as it truly helps out the channel. And be sure to check out my Patreon if you want to get more insights into my SPAC portfolio or my growth-oriented long-term portfolios, which also includes a private Patreon Discord. And also be sure to check out my free Discord to talk about SPACs and other stocks with other members of the Wolves of Investing community. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Nextdoor is the neighborhood network. Basically, it's a social media platform that's hyper-focused on neighborhoods. It started in 2011 and introduced advertising in 2016. In 2018, they brought on Sarah Friar as their CEO. Sarah Friar is the former CFO of Square. Under her leadership, Square IPO'd in 2015 and added $30 billion in market capitalization. She is also on the board of directors at Walmart and Slack. Needless to say, Sarah Friar is a beast in the business world. And I remember a few years ago when I first heard the news about her leaving Square, I told myself that I'd be taking a close look at Nextdoor if it ever decided to go public. And here we are. According to their investor presentation, Nextdoor is currently used by about 1 in 3 US households, has over 60 million verified neighbors, and has over 27 million weekly active neighbors. Nextdoor's purpose is to cultivate a kinder world where everyone has a neighborhood they can rely on. When Nextdoor was founded, it was apparent that despite technology's ability to connect people and communities virtually across the globe, in actuality, people had become more disconnected, especially in real life. Nextdoor was founded to leverage technology to enable real-world connection. Nextdoor believes they have a strong competitive moat that connects neighbors through local businesses, civic engagement, local recommendations, local groups, and a local marketplace. Public agencies have access to analytics, publishing tools, instant messaging, and instant distribution. And local businesses can get access to word-of-mouth recommendations, data and targeting, and two-way channels with their customers. Nextdoor's audience engagement after 3 months is 74%, after 6 months is 65%, after 12 months is 59%, and after 24 months is 54%. According to Sarah Friar on the investor conference call, Nextdoor's retention rate after 6 months is estimated to be about 20 points higher than leading peers. So I'm going to assume she's referring to platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, and Twitter. Nextdoor is used all across the United States and is also in 1 in 7 households in the UK and 1 in 5 households specifically in London. So they are expanding internationally. One of Nextdoor's value propositions for advertisers is that many of its users don't use other platforms. 82% of users did not visit Snap in the past month, 64% did not visit LinkedIn, and if we go down the list, 27% did not visit Facebook and Messenger. So for an advertiser, if you need to reach these untargeted users, you've got to use Nextdoor. Nextdoor's weekly active users and daily active users are ranked fairly highly. After Facebook, Snapchat, Google Chrome, and Instagram, but above Twitter, Spotify, and even other major platforms such as YouTube and Netflix. So that is pretty impressive. Nextdoor's ARPU, or average revenue per user, is $10. And part of its strategy, as with all social media platforms, is to increase its ARPU. They're still in the early days of monetizing their platform, so this is potentially a huge area for growth. In addition to the neighborhood and nearby neighborhoods that users live in, users of Nextdoor can also connect to other neighborhoods outside their vicinity, such as where other family members live, where they own a business, where they want to visit, or where they want to move to. Nextdoor is currently in 45 million households, with 37 million in the US and 8 million internationally. And in terms of the total addressable market, if they can claim up to the 65% penetration that they have in their top quartile neighborhoods, that would be 203 million households for an additional 158 million households that they can go after. And if they can target all of the households in their current markets, that's a total of 312 million households for an additional 109 million households that they can target. So there's definitely a lot of room for them to grow. Nextdoor is in the digital advertising space, which is estimated to be a $607 billion global opportunity in 2024. And because of Nextdoor's focus on being local, they can specialize in home services, local commerce, classifieds, real estate, and local events. Nextdoor's advertising customers include global and national brands, small and medium-sized local businesses, and public agencies and utilities. Next, let's take a look at the financials. From 2018 to 2020, Nextdoor more than doubled its revenues from $51 million to $123 million. So that is very impressive growth. They're projecting to grow it to $249 million in 2022, and that would be very impressive if they can achieve that projection. Like many early stage companies and SPACs, Nextdoor is currently operating at a net loss. But their EBITDA margin did improve 31% year over year from 2019 to 2020. And according to their conference call, they're targeting 40% EBITDA margins in the next 5 to 7 years. Whether or not they can achieve that, we shall see. Next, let's take a look at the SPAC transaction summary. Assuming no shareholder redemptions, at $10 per share and 430 million pro forma shares outstanding, the post-transaction equity value is projected to be $4.3 billion. Post-transaction, they expect to have $763 million in cash. With no debt, that leaves us with an enterprise value of $3.54 billion. The existing Nextdoor shareholders will own 81.4%, SPAC public shareholders will own 9.7%, Khosla sponsor shares will own 2.7%, and PIPE investors will own 6.3%. And one of the PIPE investors that may be of interest to you Cathie Wood fans is Accounts Advised by ARK Invest. All right, so I didn't go over the entire investor presentation, but I'll leave a link to the presentation in the video description. And I encourage you to check it out if you're interested. So what is my bull case for the stock? I am a huge believer in digital advertising. As many of you may know from my previous videos on Pinterest and Roku, those are both stocks that I own and am doing very well on them at the moment. And I do believe that Nextdoor has a good chance of taking a slice of that global digital advertising pie. I'm also a huge believer in Sarah Friar. She was with Square in its early days of growth, and I've also been an investor in Square for a few years as well. Instead of taking my normal approach of trying to estimate the revenue growth and price to sales ratio into the future, I'm going to take a different approach this time, and I'm going to compare Nextdoor to Pinterest, which I feel has a very similar feel-good kind of platform. If we look at Pinterest, it's grown its revenues from $299 million in 2016 to $1.69 billion in 2020. And it currently has a market cap of $49 billion. Nextdoor is much smaller with only $123 million in revenues in 2020, but I do think that it's possible for them to achieve a similar market cap to Pinterest in the next 5 to 10 years. KVSB closed at $10.65 on Friday, which implies a $4.58 billion market cap, assuming no SPAC redemptions. So if Nextdoor can achieve the same market cap as Pinterest in the next 5 to 10 years, that would be 10x growth in their stock, which would be pretty incredible growth. So what is my bear case? The main bear case that I have is that Facebook is rolling out their own product called Neighborhoods. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like Facebook Neighborhoods is just a complete clone of Nextdoor. So if Facebook is able to expand their own Neighborhoods product, or even take users off of Nextdoor, this could be absolutely detrimental to Nextdoor's business. What is my game plan? To me, I think that the potential for Nextdoor's growth outweighs the risk of competition from Facebook. And I just started using the Nextdoor app myself, and I can definitely see its potential for growth. Facebook has copied many features of its competitors in the past. They famously copied Snapchat's Stories feature. And if we look at Snap's stock chart, it's done extremely well despite Facebook's competition. So for now, I'm not too concerned about the competition from Facebook. So for me, I don't own any shares yet, but I do plan on adding a small position to KVSB and just dollar cost average into the stock. If the stock price sinks post-merger, as many SPACs do after the $10 floor goes away, as long as my bull thesis hasn't changed, I plan to continue investing and possibly even accelerate my investments on heavy dips. So let's say the stock goes below $8, that's when I'd consider accelerating my investment. All right, so before you leave, be sure to check out my Patreon link in the video description, and also check out the link to my free Discord. Also, check out my referral link to M1 Finance, who just increased its referral bonus to $50. All right, so let me know what you think about Nextdoor. Do you use the Nextdoor app? Drop me a line in the comments. Be sure to leave a like on this video before leaving. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.